Hello, my friends. So, if today's date, August the 26th, is your birthday, this is a reading for you for this year. This is a four-card pull, a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card of what this energy might be all about for this year. So, this is the general energy card for August 26th, people. This is Eros. What is Eros? I think most of us associate Eros with just, heightened sexuality, sensuality, love in its kind of lustiest form. But Eros is even wider than that, much wider than that. Eros is really the sense of wherever you find beauty and truth in together, in the same place, when your heart is so moved that you want to merge with what you see, when you become one with the nature that you're around or the music that you're hearing, or you become one with another on a sensual or sexual level, when you become one with yourself in your understandings of yourself, in your place of truth and beauty within yourself. That's an eros. That's a special loving form of understanding and compassion and and unity that needs to be understood more and more and done more and more in our lives with the many energies that around us that will help us to understand that we are not disconnected from creator, we are not disconnected from nature, we are not disconnected from ourselves, because eros can help us to sensually feel our life at its fullest, to emotionally live to the depth of our um, power, love, lust, energies. And this is not about sexuality, although sexuality is involved in this, but the mergence with something outside of oneself opens one heart and frees oneself to think beyond oneself. It allows one humanitarian understandings. It allows one compassionate growth. It allows one to become more natural and loving within themselves. So, what does this mean for you, August the 26th this year? The challenge for you is the Eight of Swords. So, this is the Eight of Swords, and this is about uh, setting one's life up in a way that seems right, that there's a logic to it, there's a lot of restrictions to it and doctrines to follow and ways to be and rules to live by and thoughts that feel right in one's head. But it's not necessarily about thoughts that feel right in one's heart, nor thoughts that feel right in one's sense of freedom and authenticity. And this is the challenge in this is either feeling like you are holding yourself back from experiencing something of eros, quite possibly, something that excites you and wants to take you beyond your limited scope of experience or understanding, and wants to push it some more, emotional buttons, sensual buttons, beauty buttons, creativity buttons, laughter, love, compassion, joy buttons, then you might, or others might be willing to let you experience. You may think, your church is telling you can't go do something like this, or you may think your society is saying you can't do something like this, or you may think your partner is saying you can't do something like this, or you may think you are saying to yourself, well, you can't do something like this. It's too outside of the box of thinking. That's the challenge, is to break out of your box of thinking, and like this crow, just fly above those limiting thoughts. Let yourself see wider and understand better by breaking through some of the mental rigidities, thought forms, doctrines that might be holding you back right now from feeling this beautiful sense of eros, that the divinity of form in each one of us that needs to be recognized. And we can, of course, we can feel eros toward everyone. It's not a sexuality thing again. It's a communality thing. It's a communion. It's a an honoring, a dignity, a respect, a love, a compassion. So, what is the action you need to take? Well, alligator. I mean, a lot of things about alligator. It's all about digestion. It's about knowing the right time to eat your food. They stuff it onto a log and wait till it's got the right tenderness for them to eat it. They also, when they rip something apart, they roll underneath the water. So there's a statement about understanding how you can roll more with the punches and be freer in yourself and live your more truer part of yourself. But I think alligator overall is because the sense of integration. It's been here for so long. It's not really changed much in hundreds of thousands of years. It's understood its place, it allows itself its limitations. It's learned how to adapt and roll with punches. It knows how to feed itself. It knows how to sustain itself. And it's a sensual, sexual being, and it's no that is a very powerful understander of integration. So, what is this card saying? Well, it says, I think that you have to let in some wild part of yourself that needs to chew up a life experience that is different than what your mind has been letting you. And I think you have to learn how to grab a chunk of life. Sorry to be so graphic. Learn how to chunk of life. Learn how to grab a chunk of beauty and make it yours, make it you, digest it in deep, deep, deep ways, and honor the teaching that it's going to give to you. This is about living outside of your head and not letting doctrines and boundaries and things that don't feel like they apply to you right now, because your authenticity is in question. And part of one's authenticity is their ability to see the sublime in nature, in art, in creativity, in sensuality, in sexuality, in beingness, in merging with one another person or another concept or the Godhead itself. There's emergence of Eros that is about being absorbed into the divine golden specks of light when we die, to emerge into that beautiful sparkling aura of all possibilities that then coalesces into another being, another life, another energy, but moving into that golden, spectacular part of self, while in form is what Eros is really all about. So what is the outcome of this? It is this beautiful soul card, which has no definitions. I think this is about learning to honor yourself from your roots, which extend into the earth and extend into the deep mother that gives you and feeds you and nourishes you and brings you your elements that you need to be in this body and to grow. Learning how to step your roots down in, learning about your sensuality and your sexuality, your connections to nature and divinity, and the power that you have at your feet through your ancestors, through your connection to yourself, through the growth that your body has. This is about connecting into your ancestors that have come before. This is about understanding that the tree has to propagate. Your tree has to propagate, not only in sexuality and creating seeds, but creating beauty, creating attraction, creating things that the other creatures will want to come and feed on, so it can replenish them and they can replenish it. And understanding that it's a mutual replenishment that is being asked for with Eros, a mutual replenishment that takes you back to your roots and understands what you're feeding out into the world, and understand then that the world is then supplying you with your your water and your air and your other supplies and replenishing you, and that it's a cycle of giving, and that you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not abandoned. The only time you are abandoned is when you abandon yourself and you don't allow yourself to feel free and have some energies that are outside of the rigid box that you place yourself in. Ahom Takriyasin. May it be a glorious year for you. May you fly free of some of those bonding things that hold you down. May you learn how to rise above and see with wider eyes and see your soul and digest your experiences that are given to you this year that will take you deeper into yourself, deeper into your being. Home Blessed be.